Shalom. I want to start this off by giving honor, praise, and glory to Yahweh, Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai, Wahawah Kakwadash. Peace and salutations to the elect men and elder men that are diligently pushing forth the will and doctrine of Yahweh, Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai, day by day, according to the true understanding of the scriptures. To you I say Shalom. So this lesson is going to be basically just going into making sure that you on the right path and you going in the right direction upon your walk, right? And the title will be something along those lines, but basically just meditating on chain of events that had happened this past week, within basically what me and a couple of my brothers amongst my congregation, the brothers that I labor with, that I had seen, and just me meditating on it and reflecting on the spiritual wonder that was shown to us, which we seen like over 100 chariots, and it wasn't like a fleet where they were like consecutively back to back, like these were chariots. They were going through the sky, predominantly coming from like the west, going and headed towards the east. But you could see, a few coming from different parts, like coming from the south, but headed towards the east, But nonetheless, like, it was a sign from the Lord, It was a wonder that was in the sky that we were able to see, and being able to see it, I'm not taking it lightly, and with me not taking it lightly, it's just been something I've been meditating on, which just led me to pay attention to the fact that, the one thing that stood out to me the most was that they were all headed in the same direction, They were all headed in the same direction. Wherever they started at, nonetheless, they were all headed to the same direction, And again, that's basically what the point of this lesson is going to be. What I'm saying? Making sure that you're on the right path and you headed in the right direction when you're on this path, when you choose to when you choose to, come into this truth, deal with the Lord in all sincerity and all truthfulness, giving your whole being to the Lord. You got to make sure that you're going about it the right way. You got to make sure that you take heed to the things that's being shown to you. You got to make sure that you take heed to the wisdom that's being the things that's being presented to you, the information that's being given to you. You want to make sure that you taking heed to all those things and you actually applying it to yourself. Because it's only going to help you to be able to move forward on that path. It's going to help give you balance, so that way you're not losing your footing when you're on this path. All right? Because this world that we are in doesn't do that. And this world, how it's set up, it's not a path that's going to lead to everlasting life. Like how the path of the Lord is, So, hopping into this is 1 Peter chapter 3 and verse 13. It says, and the point is going to be, or really I should say, it's just 13 through 15, But reading here it says, and who is he that will harm you, if ye be followers of that which is good? And if ye suffer for righteousness' sake, happy are ye. And be not afraid of their terror, neither be troubled. It says, but sanctify the Lord in your hearts, and be ready always to give an answer to every man that asketh you a reason of the hope that is in you with meekness and fear. You see? And I get this because we understand that this path isn't easy, right? But you going through it with the Lord, he gonna make it, he gonna take care of you, you know? He gonna make sure that you straight. He gonna help give you strength, you know? The pain that you get is only to help you grow. And that's why you want to be afraid. That's why you are to ultimately understand it's good that's gonna come out of this. You know what I'm saying? The pain that you feel now isn't nothing compared to the pain of those that didn't believe, that those that didn't trust in the Lord are gonna have to deal with. You know? And that's why it's so important that you want to sanctify the Lord in your hearts. You know? And real quick, just to go into that word, sanctify, right? It says to set apart as or declare holy, consecrate, make legitimate or binding by a religious ceremony, free from sin, purify, cause to be or seem morally right or acceptable. It says consecrate, make holy, make sacred, bless, set apart, purify, cleanse, redeem, unburden, wash someone's sins away. It says approve, sanction, condone, justify, support, confirm, right? All these things is things that you don't want to mix the things that's of this world with the things that's of the Lord, you know? You want to keep them separate. And how you do that too is keeping yourself separate from those things, you know? Now granted, you know what I'm saying, we use the world, but basically this is how you don't go on to abuse the world, you know? The Lord said, pray not to take them out of the world, but to keep them from the evil, you know? So this is how you keep yourself from the evil, you know what I'm saying? By making sure that you not allowing nothing to be mixed with what you know that to be true within the Lord's word, you know? What is true within and within this path, you know? You want to make sure that you sanctify yourself. You want to be making sure that you got the Lord within your mind, and nothing is getting in the way of that. You want to make sure that's your backbone, that's your principles, that's what you stand on, that's what holds you up, you know? Because with the Lord, he gonna make sure that you ready. He gonna prepare you, you know what I'm saying? Especially with that day further approaching, you know? It was a beautiful sight to see within the sky. Like the way it happened, you know what I'm saying? Like it was happening for so long, cause you know one of the brothers, he wasn't even outside yet when me and one of the brothers seen it, you know. But it was happening for so long, you know what I'm saying? It gave him time to be able to come out and be able to see it himself, you know what I'm saying? Another brother. So like it was just beautiful to see. Like this was something that was granted for me, you know what I'm saying, first and foremost to see, but as well as, you know what I'm saying, the brothers I labor with, you know? And it's just trying to keep that in mind. Like, we got to make sure that we headed, you know what I'm saying, the same direction on the same path, you know? You can't climb up no other way. There's only one way, one word, one truth, one Lord, you know what I'm saying? One power. And we can't let nothing get in the way of that, you know? This is Matthew 7 and verse 13. It says, enter ye in at the straight gate. For wide is the gate and broad is the way that leadeth to destruction. You see, that's the path that everybody else is on. We not to be on that path, you know. Lord, deal with fewer numbers, you know. It's only going to be an elect few, you know what I'm saying, the chosen of Israel that's to be saved, you know. That's not majority. So we got to make sure that we are on top of what it is that we need to make sure that we good, you know. Getting your mind right, getting your house in order, you know what I'm saying, making sure that you surrounding yourself with the things that's going to that's approved of the Lord, that's going to help you stay close to the Lord, that's going to help you to be more diligent, to be able to work hard, right? To help heal yourself, to help prepare yourself, to help build spiritual endurance, all these different things, you know, like just being in the mindset of fine tuning, becoming razor sharp. You know what I'm saying? Being a useful tool that the Lord could use, which in whatever way he, you know what I'm saying, is needed, you know, but also being in position to be able to hear, receive the things that the Lord shows you. You know what I'm saying? That the Lord shows brothers that's amongst you to be able to be shown to you, you know, making sure that you in a position to be able to hear what's being said, whether it be rough, hard, rugged, you know what I'm saying, austere, or not. But being in that position to be able to receive it and do something with it, you know? Because that's not what this world pushes. This world pushes for you to be idle, for you to just get caught up in the mix of anything or whatever, whichever way, you know? But it says, and many there be which go in thereat. You see? We not to be like the many. Many's like common. And we know that goes into the word profane. We not to be profane. You know? We meant to be holy, set apart, sanctified, you know? Verse 14, it says, because straight is the gate and narrow is the way which leadeth unto life, and few there be that find it. You see? Which is, and it's heavy because it's saying few will be there that find it. Versus in the the verse before, it says many go in thereat. You know what I'm saying? But this one, the straight and narrow, this a path that's so different. It's not even mentioning how people go into it. It's talking about how it's hard to find. So if the Lord presents this to you, you want to be, you know what I'm saying, you want to be that laborer that's actually chosen. You know, many are called, but few are chosen. You want to be of that chosen, where you're able to find it and actually walk it. You know, and with you walking it, with it being that straight and narrow, you know, you want to make sure that you well balanced, you well prepared, and you are ultimately stable to be able to make it to the end. You know, it's like the five wise and the five foolish virgins. You know, we want to be those wise virgins that had the oil, that stacked up on the oil, so that way they had enough for their candles to be able to make it to the groomsman, the husbandman. You know, to make it to the end. We gotta do that now. You know, and that's all due to paying attention to where you at and making sure that you on that right path, you know, and you're headed in the right direction, you know. So that's pretty much it, you know, because there's nothing too drawn out, and that's really the point. Making sure that you on point and making sure that you not putting yourself in a position to get messed up, putting yourself in a position to be ready for whatever comes, you know, because ultimately, again, the Lord is going to be our strength. I'll get that real quick. Isaiah 26 and verse 3 says, "Thou wilt keep him in perfect peace, whose mind is stayed on thee, because he trusted in thee. Trust ye in the Lord forever, for in the Lord Yahweh, Ba'ashem Yahushua, is everlasting strength." You see, with the everlasting strength, you now put in a position to where you good. You in good standing. You got balance. You're well nourished. You know, you're not dehydrated. You're not, malnourished. You're in a position to where you can constantly grow, right? You building up strength. You able to recover through the growth pains, right? All through Yahweh Hashem Yahushua. Again, he make it like it's easy, you know what I'm saying, take on his yoke. That's why we want his over this world's. So that's pretty much it. Lord willing, this has been edifying. With that, I'm going to say, Call Halam La, Yahweh, Ba'ashem Yahushua, Wahara Kakwadash. Till next time, Shalom.